My Safety Training Online presents Workplace Violence, Mod 2 of 2. Welcome. How to follow up after an incident occurs. What rules, policies, and guidance should be in place. A partial listing of resources for you to deal with an incident. Exercises to go with to prepare. The components of an investigation. Determining if personal protective equipment is necessary in a follow-up. Part 1. Investigation of an incident. Collect facts on who, what, when, where, and how the incident occurred. Documenting everything. Get witness statements. Photograph damage or injuries. Documenting this as well. Identify contributing causes. Weighting each particular contributing clause. Decide before the investigation starts who in top management will be doing the investigation. Will it be a person or persons, preferably those at the top of the organization, if it is small? How will it cooperate with government agencies that take place? Establish contact with those agencies before an incident occurs. After incidents of violence, provide for immediate medical and psychological needs. Notify the police and support an investigation. Account for all workers and ensure that a continued safety of those remaining in the area. After an incident of violence, provide for site security and assure that no workplace area is left short-handed. Provide for a critical incident debriefing to victims, witnesses, and others, keeping these conversations strictly confidential. Provide accurate communication to agencies, media, and law enforcement. After an incident of violence, workers may need services of an employee assistance program or other counseling services. Provide for a follow-up after medical and psychological treatment. Assure the confidentiality and protection from discrimination to prevent victims from suffering further loss. After an incident of violence, assure that a detailed investigation is performed by a safety committee or the top employer. Include all incidents and near misses. Do not delay. Important evidence can be destroyed. Focus on fact-finding and keep detailed records. Workplace Violence and the Law, Section 2. The General Duty Clause of OSHA regulations provides for employers to furnish to each employee employment and a place of employment which are free from recognized hazards that are causing or likely to cause death or serious physical harm to employees, and shall comply with the occupational safety and health standards promulgated under this Act. Each employee shall comply with the occupational safety and health standards as well as the rules, regulations, and orders pursuant to the Act. All employers shall provide a safe workplace and develop a formal accident prevention program. Accident prevention programs should address workplace violence hazards for each particular situation. Provide for and use safety devices and practices. Establish and enforce rules that lead to a safe workplace. A workplace violence prevention program needs to identify hazards and determine if personal protective equipment will be necessary. Require your appropriate employees to use their personal protective equipment if needed. Employers are required to keep records of injuries and illnesses on the OSHA 301 form. Late Night Retail Worker Crime Protection Standard calls for providing specific work violence-related direction to retail businesses that operate between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. Restaurants, hotels, taverns, and lodging facilities are not covered by this rule. Here is a short list of supportive resources for employers seeking to establish workplace violence programs. The fact sheets, information sheets, and hazard alerts from OSHA. OSHA can help employers categorize violence possibilities and risk factors, as well as with case scenarios, sample prevention, and response plans. OSHA's Workplace Violence Handbook also has help for training techniques, weapons policies, domestic violence in the workplace, as well as selected laws and regulations, as well as many other resources. OSHA can provide an assault incident report form for employees to report any threatening remark or act of physical violence, whether experienced or observed. The form is voluntary and confidential. OSHA's Workplace Violence Resource Book also has a threat and assault log to summarize and categorize reports and threats and assaults over a 1-year period. Included in OSHA's resources are an employee hazard assessment survey form for periodically surveying employee ideas and gathering suggestions for your workplace violence protection program. It can be private and confidential if needed. Thanks for participating from the gentle folks of MySafetyTrainingOnline.com.